Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode on Boundary Line Podcast with Dillon Pink, Sheldon Dougherty here. And today we got an exciting episode for you all. We are going to be giving our playing 11 who we think can beat India in a test match or test series. So we have been super excited to bring this out there to you guys and hoping that you guys enjoy it. Before going ahead, requesting all our viewers to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share the video with your friends so that the word spreads and we get some sort of recognition, right? So guys, and also you can leave your playing 11 down there in the comment section. Be interesting to see whether our playing 11 matches with your playing 11. So how are we going to do this? We're going to name one player each from my team, one player each from Sheldon's team, and then we're probably going to have a bit of reasoning to see why we chose them. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to start off. And firstly, going to ask Sheldon, are you super excited for this, Sheldon? We've been wanting to do this for a long time.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a while. Actually, I remember us discussing about this before the Border Gavaskar Trophy.
Yeah.
And we were thinking about what team, and it's finally come to fruition. We are finally going to do it. So very excited for this. Been planning my team. They're looking which spinner, how many seamers do we go? Who's the all-rounder?
I just hope you didn't change your team in between that Australia-India test series.
Yeah, there are a few names, speaking out in the series who we will run through.
Okay, and just to let our viewers know also why we've been doing this is just the fact that India have been so good at home, for I think the longest time. Very few teams are like that going ahead now. And the reason why we did this is that, because India have been so dominant at home and so good that, it's highly impossible for any team there to come and beat them. So we thought, okay, why not we put a team, like a World 11 team to see that, whether they can beat India. And yes, here's how it is. And I think the last team to come to India and beat India was England, I think. And that was like 2011, 2012, Sheldon. So, that's quite a long time ago. And, it's been quite a dominant team performance there by India, over the course of the years. So let's get straight into it. Here it is. Sheldon, do you want to go first or should I go first, please?
Okay, then I shall try, first spot.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a guy who did play the recent series. He was a guy who I didn't have pre-series, so it was a change I made. It was a guy who you backed, Dill. So, I must give you, I'm sure you have him as well. Usman Khawaja. I mean, what a player, right, in Asia. I mean, and all around the world recently as well. Why didn't he open at the start of his career, right, Dill? The way he's been batting?
Yeah, absolutely brilliant player, Sheldon. And just this recent concluded series proves that, how good he is. And the reason why I had him in my team, I'm just going to let you know that I think his numbers are just phenomenal ever since the start of 2019, when he got that comeback into the test series. He's just been absolutely brilliant there. I mean, he's averaging really, really high there. He scored really good in Pakistan, UAE. He's got runs. I mean, even in Australia's home season there, he scored well. Right now in India also, the recent series there, he's just showed that, why he's so good in this format and brilliant. I mean, so surprising that we were discussing even in our previous podcast that, like, how was he not on this India tour? Like, the previous two ones that when he was there, like, it just baffles my mind. Yeah. But the reason why you chose him, Sheldon, I'm guessing was almost the same.
Yeah, very similar, Dylan. And also, as you said, the way he played in Pakistan, UAE, I even remember vividly the hundreds he scored, that one in the UAE as well. I remember it was the first test series after Sandpaper Gate as well. So it was Australia just changing, and they went there without Smith and without Warner. And Khawaja had a brilliant 100. He batted almost a full day in the last day in Abu Dhabi to save a test. And since then, he's just been brilliant in all Asian conditions. Pakistan as well, brilliant series there. He had 100 in Rawalpindi. And here in India, I think this for me was his best series because some of the pitches, as we know, Dil, was so tough to bat on. And he made 250s, which honestly felt like a double ton. And then when he got a good pitch, he scored 100.
He made the most.
Terrific. Terrific. I think he walks into most sides right now in the world and one of the best openers in general as well going around.
Yeah, perfect. So there you have it. Usman Khawaja and my team, Usman Khawaja and Sheldon's team. So
Yeah,
that's damn
perfect.
good. Perfect start. I mean, I like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the start. I
Yeah.
think we're on the same page. Let's see.
So,
Okay, going
so is
ahead.
that the only one deal we're gonna get? Just same.
I don't know. I think we're going to have a lot more. I think we're going to have a
Yeah,
lot more in common. I feel that. I mean, knowing us. And okay,
yeah,
moving ahead, I'm going to name my next opener now.
yeah,
And this guy has been a champion, for his team. Over the last few years, he's just been brilliant as an opener, scored heavily, and more often than not, if you see the number of hundreds he scored for his team, if you take all those hundreds, you know that his team has scored. His team has
yeah.
scored all hundreds from all the players. You'll see that he scored more than half of all those hundreds put together, right? So my next opener is Kraig Brathwaite from the West Indies.
Yeah, that's a solid choice, Dill. I mean, he's a wonderful batsman. You'd think he's been carrying West Indies batting for so many years as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And that was a great stat you mentioned. I think who was the last opener before him to score 100 for West Indies? We wouldn't know because he's just been carrying that batting order, which has been very poor at times. And luckily now Chanderpaul's son, has come to help him out opening the batting. Yeah. But yeah, Dill, a good call. And
Yeah.
any specific reason, like towards Asia, or just in general the way he's batted recently? Like
Just in general, the way he's batted, I feel at home and even in other places. I think in Australia also he got 100 there, and I think he plays spin really well, and just been that. I think his nature towards like playing test matches, I think is really good. He plays with soft hands also sometimes, so I think that would work in Asia a lot. And just the fact that his numbers have been brilliant since the start of 2019 2020, he's averaging 46.2, which I think is absolutely brilliant for an opener there, much higher than the likes of Rahul and Warner and everyone all put together. Khawaja and him have been the top two openers there during that period. Of course, I had a bit of, kind of was thinking with Imam ul Haq, whether he's been so good in Pakistan. He's played well also in Australia, a bit of a few innings there. I thought of the Sri Lankan captain there, Karunaratne. I thought him, he was also looking damn good, but then, just been a few those knocks when it mattered the most, he didn't score. But just the fact that Kraig Brathwaite has carried this West Indies team and almost single-handedly, saved them. So that's the reason why. And I want to know who's your opener.
Yeah, Dill, I was going with Devon Conway actually, but
Whoa.
the difference probably is that he probably is very new to his test career. He hasn't played as much as Kraig Brathwaite and lesser test matches. He is averaging 50 currently now, but you'd probably think he hasn't been tested in Asia enough to probably get him into your side.
Yeah.
But I do feel like your call, Brathwaite, is a better one because of just the amount of runs he scored over a long period of time and to churn it out in a team that's struggling. I think I'm perfectly fine with Brathwaite and the team till. Like, I'm okay with
Devon
that.
Conway for Sheldon. I mean, he played well in India when he came. He scored decently well. I'm not saying that he had a bad series, but so Devon Conway is also interesting. I mean, I went with Kraig Brathwaite also for a reason that it gives that left-hand, right-hand combination at the top of the order, so just that, just gives a bit more to the team there. Moving on, Sheldon, the third, the one-down batsman, I don't know if probably is there in your team as well. It's the Pakistan captain, Babar Azam. Fantastic player, beautiful player to watch. Just brilliant the way he plays. Love his stroke making there, the way he plays those drives. Absolutely brilliant. And come on, subcontinent players, when they come to India and in the subcontinent, you can't beat them. This guy scored hundreds all over the world and just damn good to watch. I mean, so it'd be interesting to see if this team is put together and they play against India. I'm sure Babar Azam will grab a lot of eyeballs. So that's the reason why I have picked him. He's versatile, can play on any sort of pitch in the form of his life. In the recent past now, you can see that he's already been put with those names like Kane Williamson and Joe Root and everyone like that. He's already been put with them. So that's the reason why I picked him. And I would like to know who is your one-down batsman.
Spot on, Dill. He was nailed on for me as well in the team. I think terrific batsman, one of the best going around. And in Asia, no brainer for me.
Yeah.
He's just not my captain because, I mean, his captaincy is kind of average. But
at the end, we're going to give who's a captain, or you can probably give it when you're saying it. But for me, Babar Azam is not going to be the captain in this case. Just saying, guys. Yeah, Sheldon.
But yeah, Dill, his batting is excellent. I mean, he for sure makes it into most teams as well. And we would love to see him play in India. I don't know if we'll ever see it though, Dill. And in a test match, that's the only sad thing. But yeah, Dill, he's nailed on for sure in that number 3 spot.
Nice. I mean, so yeah, Babar, Azam, Usman, Khawaja. Say there, we already got 2 names, spot on there, like in our team, our respective teams. Moving at Sheldon, do you want to take the next one?
So this is interesting. So I actually have 2 number 4s. One is playing at 4 and one is playing at 5. I don't know if you have these 2, but so I just go with my number 4 first. Who I put is Joe Root, and I think. I don't know. Do you have him in your team as well, Dill? Or?
Yes, spot on there. Joe Root is my number 4 batsman. Yeah.
Yeah, Dill. I just had to have Root. I mean, his record in Asia, terrific. I mean, he has hundreds in India. He dominates Sri Lanka. Surprisingly, the only country he doesn't have 100 is Pakistan. You think that would be like the cakewalk out of the countries to play?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he missed out there in that last over when England came. Absolutely right, Sheldon. Joe Root walks into any team just again because of his versatility there, and I'm just imagining Joe Root and Babar Azam batting together there. It's just like one for the ages. That's going to be like really insane. Just imagining it itself gives me goosebumps there. So yeah, Joe Root, GOAT numbers, absolute GOAT of Test cricket, this guy, and rightly so. I think he's the number 1 right now, I would say, in the Fab 4, Fab 5, whatever you want to call it. Joe Root is just there. And I think before the start of COVID, before the pandemic, he had, I think, like 1600s or something, 16 or 1700s. And after that, now he's got like 10 more and is already like nearing Virat Kohli. And I think he's gone past him, if I'm not mistaken. He's gone past Virat Kohli and Steve Smith and all that. Yeah.
I think he's only behind Smith by 1. I think he's 2900s and Smith's 30 right now.
Even when he came to India there in that forgetful tour, which I thought he was the only good player there on that tour, scored brilliantly there in that first test, I think, in Chennai, if I'm not mistaken. The beauty of a pitch there, and Joe Root just looked all class. In the series before that, he scored in Sri Lanka also, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and did really well there. So no brainer, Joe Root, Babar Azam there, number 3, number 4 in our teams, right?
Dill, and also, I want to mention he's also our second spinner. He took a 5 for India last time, Dill, remember?
5 for, yes. Who can forget that spell in Ahmedabad? Yeah. So yeah, Joe Root, no brainer, guys. As an all-rounder,
Yeah, because all-rounder. So Dill, going on to number 5 in your team, who did you put there?
Number 5, interesting. Number 5, I think this recent concluded test series between India and Australia kind of cements this guy over there, even though he didn't have a very good series. My number 5 and the captain of the team is Steve Smith for me. I think absolutely brilliant. Again, this guy, you cannot leave him out. He's that good. These sort of players, they just need 1 match to get back into form. Didn't have a good series against India, but you could see that he was looking good. Got out to some beauty balls, by Ashwin and Jadeja trapping him there. But of course, the pitches were not greatest, which we've discussed before. But I thought Steve Smith, the way he captained Australia in that indoor test and the kind of momentum shift that he took Australia after that, and even in the recently concluded ODI series, just proves that he is meant to captain. And he himself said it, that he loves to captain in this part of the world, in India especially, and he kind of understands the nitty-gritty details of captaining. So that makes him my number 5 player and the captain. And of course, his numbers are next level. So you don't want to argue with someone who's averaging around 60 in Test cricket.
Yeah, exactly.
He just he was the first name that I filled out. Like, forget everything. Like, Steve Smith is there on my team. And you, Shah, I'm pretty sure you've got Steve Smith.
Yeah, of course, Dill, and captain rightfully so. I think you hit the nail on the head with your explanation of Smith. I mean, just his captaincy this series, to come back from 2-0 down to win 1 and draw 1, excellent.
Yeah.
When you want to play India in India, you need a captain who can win there. And we know for sure Smith can win. He's won 2 test matches there, which is more than most can say. And his batting, Dill, I know people say this too, he didn't score. Come on, like what happened? But it's one bad series. He's human. I mean, the last time he came to India, he had 300s still. 300s.
Yeah.
And he has hundreds everywhere. He has it in UAE, in Pakistan, in Sri Lanka. Where doesn't he have hundreds? I mean,
Exactly.
probably only Antarctica he hasn't scored the way he bats. I mean,
Brilliant player to watch. That's
yeah.
absolutely right. So yeah, no brainer, guys. Interesting. I mean, we got Usman Khawaja, Babar Azam, Joe
Yeah.
Root, and Steve Smith. Nice.
Yeah.
This is going well so far.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Moving
far,
on,
so good.
Sheldon. Do you want to name your number 6?
So this was honestly the toughest thing
I
I've
think I
chosen
know
because
this, but go ahead.
because every stat in the book would tell you this player is an ordinary player, but I'm not going to go with the stat here. So I just want to ask though, did you put an all-rounder at 6 or a keeper at 6? Which one did you put?
I put an
Just like-
all-rounder at 6.
I know people say stats-wise in Asia it's not great, but I went with Stokes at 6, and I know everyone look against
knew
it.
it,
And
I
people
knew
think, I mean, I just could not have him in a World 11 side to face in India, and like just that all-round ability, the seeming all-rounder in the team, and his batting, and just in a tough pitch, if you need someone to grind it out. And I know people say, "Oh, his stats in Asia," but I'm not about that for Stokes. His stats everywhere aren't great, but if you need to win a game and you need to win a series, he'd be there all day. Dill, at number 6, are you having him as well, or are you
number 6? Surprisingly, I have Stokes as well on my list as number 6 as a number 6 player. Before Steve Smith could take over as captain, although I've got to admit, honestly, I've mentioned Stokes as the leader, but I just felt that after that Indore test, just watching Steve Smith captain, I kind of switched that around. But Stokes, interestingly, why I thought he could be captain was because the way he's changed this England team and the way he's playing all over the world, right? It's just the mentality. Like now he's come out and been like, nothing. A win is a win. We lose, right? It's just as simple as that. And like you said, Sheldon, you also hit nail on his head rightfully there with the Stokes. I mean, you can't keep this guy out of any World 11 team. I mean, I know he had a very dismal season in India when he came for that test series there, but just the ability and just that persona of Stokes is enough to scare someone. Like, you need a few quick runs there, and he just comes out there, whacks it out, and just a sort of perfect foil to Joe Root and Smith, I feel there in that team, like, and another left-hander there, coming in at 6, I just feel balances it out. And, all know what an amazing fielder he is, what an athlete he is, and, the way he gives us 100% on the field there, and just the perfect foil to Smith and Joe Root. And those numbers, of course, won't be great in the subcontinent, but the fact that he's led England so well, and it's just a brilliant person to have in the team.
For sure, Dill, well said. So Dill, on to number 7 in your team. Who did
number
you go for?
7, the keeper. I don't know if this is gonna this is gonna be an interesting one. I had a look at a lot of wicket keepers, who can keep in India, and we all know that it's not the easiest place to go and keep, especially in subcontinent, in India, Sri Lanka especially. But I have gone with Sarfaraz Ahmed. He had a nice series against England recently, I feel. And although the pitches were flat there, I think his experience in the subcontinent, and he wasn't picked in the team also in the Pakistan team over the past few years, but he just come back after the others have not done a good job. And you can see the immediate, the responsibility. He's put his hand up and he scored there. And of course, his keeping is good. He's very experienced as a keeper. So yours, Sheldon?
Yeah, mine also is interesting till I was looking at, wicket keepers, and I thought it had to be someone from Asia because they'd be used to, the keeping that. Yeah. I went with someone, actually, I think you'd be surprised. I went with Dinesh Chadimal. He's actually had a very good World Test Championship cycle of late. So I just thought, as a keeper at number 7, he'd be a good addition, there.
Nice.
And he's used to Asian conditions. So that's why I went. But I think Sarfaraz is a good call, Del, because he came back recently as well. And he scored a lot of runs in the Pakistan's home series recently as well. Yeah. So
Dinesh Chadimal is a good call. So I must give it to you, Sheldon. Damn good. So moving on then, number 8. My number 8, this guy's an experienced all-rounder. Brilliant for his team. Has scored a lot of runs, taken a lot of wickets. One of the best all-rounders going ahead. going around right now, and it is Shakib Hassan for me.
Yeah, same deal. That's my call for it as well. I mean, you just can't not have Shakib in this side,
Exactly,
right? Like,
exactly. Brilliant numbers, damn good bowler. And just when your team requires you to, if your team is under the pump and you require to bowl, gives that left arm spinning option also there in India, which is important. I was trying to go with someone from Sri Lanka. What's his name? Jayasuriya, the other
the new
spinner from the new spinner from Sri Lanka, but he's pretty new and not played in India as yet. So I had to go with Shakib Al Hassan's. Just got some GOAT numbers there as an all-rounder, right?
Yeah, Dil, I think that's for sure. I think he was spot on in that team. As soon as we will pick a team to play in India as well, in Asia, I think his batting and his bowling is excellent in Asian conditions.
Damn good,
And yeah, as you're right, we know in India, left arm spin is important. You do need left arm spinners, as we recently saw as well. So yeah, I think great call at number 8. Dil.
Nice. At number 9, Sheldon, do you want to go ahead and name your number 9 player? Is he a fast bowler? Is he is medium pacer, or is he another spinner? What is it?
So I went with the seamer actually, Dil. I went with the left arm seamer, and I think if fit, he would be excellent in India. I went with Shaheen Shah Afridi. I know Pakistan viewers would love him, especially. And he's just fantastic, when he's fit and he's going and we know India against left arm seamers have a bit, of an issue built. So he could, and what you do need in India is someone with a new ball who can swing it.
Yeah.
And who can take wickets. And I think he would be excellent there. What about you, Dil? Is he in your team as well? Or
so he is there in my team, but he's not at number 9. Is it?
Okay.
Yeah, He's not at number 9 in my team. He is there, of course. At number 9, I picked Rabada at number 9 because I think he's fantastic. I mean, the bowler, just like Shaheen Shah and all these fast bowlers going around. Rabada, anywhere in the world, you give him a deck that has got a little bit of movement also and conditions that suit him. He's dangerous. And with his height and the way his release of the ball and everything like that, it's just perfect to watch. And he's got a lot of Indian batsmen out, especially I think in the last 2 when they came there. Of course, he's a brilliant athlete, brilliant bowler, gives it his 100% there, bowling. And I think yes, in India he would do well also. So yes, although I got to say that I have Shaheen Shah Afridi, which I will come to whenever I've picked him. Moving on to number 10, Sheldon, who do you have at number 10?
So for my other seamer, I was thinking who as well, the new ball, who could get a swing. And I thought I've seen him play in Asia, and he's just gotten better with age. It has to be the young man, from England, Jimmy Anderson. I just him.
How could I not? How could I forget about this guy?
Yeah, so him one end, Shaheen one end with the new ball. If there's a bit of swing or reverse swing, they'll be deadly. And Anderson, I just went because he's in India. He bowled terrifically well, even in 2012 when England won that series. And even recently in the 2021, right, was the recent one. I just remember that over he bowled as well to get Gill and to get Pujara.
Rahane.
Or was it
Rahane? Yeah.
That over just still in my mind.
That's just in my mind as well. Yeah, brilliant balls. Those two were. Yeah.
And then even in Pakistan when he got Rizwan with that ball, so I was just thinking if he gets any bit of movement, he'll be very dangerous. So I would love to have him and Shaheen as my 2 seamers. What about you, Dil? Who did you go?
That would be a sight to really watch. Yes, I have gone with another spinner this time at number 10, and of course it is Nathan Lyon. It's a no-brainer for me. Nathan Lyon. I mean, he was anyways there in my team at the even when we were discussing to do this World 11 thing. Nathan Lyon was there. Just his numbers in India have been good, and we saw how well he bowled this recently concluded series, Sheldon. I mean, those were some impressive numbers, and the way he bowled was absolutely brilliant. So no brainer for me. Nathan Lyon, an absolute goat of a spinner there. And yes, he is my number 10. Although I picked another extra bowler in case one of them get injured, which we'll come to at the last. All right. So you've picked James Anderson as your number 10. I've picked Nathan Lyon as my number 10. And your number 11, Sheldon?
You just spoke about him, Dil. It was Nathan Lyon. He was my first choice spinner. He had to be. I mean, the way he bowled in the recent tour and the way he's bowled, throughout his career, Nathan Lyon, terrific. Yeah. In Asia, anywhere, he's just carried Australia's spin bowling over the last couple of years. And no brainer, Dil. I think you hit all the points, on the head. It was absolutely spot on.
Yeah, damn good. Okay, and moving on to number 11. I mentioned before that he was already in my team. Sheldon already had him. It's Shaheen Shah Afridi. I mean, same reasons. Again,
Yeah.
you hit all the points there as well. It's just that left arm seamer in India troubling the batsman there. Then Shaheen Shah, if he's fit, I mean, bowling with Rabada and Anderson or whoever is there in your team, guys. I mean, just picture that, bowling to Virat and Gill and everyone. It's just going to be insane. So Shaheen Shah, of course, super bowler, as we know, done very well all over the world. And just when he's bowling, you could see it, like, he's every ball looks like he can get a wicket with every ball. So that's the reason why I've gone with him. And Sheldon, who's your number 11?
Mine was Nathan Lyon, Dil. Nathan Lyon as my one spinner, as the second spinner in my team.
Nice. So, and yes, and if at all you had to pick one more player, substitute, who would you pick as your sub, your 12th man?
I was thinking whether to go for bowler or batsman, Dil. I wasn't sure. But I just thought it's a World 11. And I felt bad not picking him in my team. He's such a nice guy. He's New Zealand's greatest ever cricketer, in my opinion. It had to be Kane Williamson. I was so sad to leave out Dil. I was like, how can I leave out Kane Williamson? But it was too tough to select the 3, 4, 5. I think those all picked themselves. So I think Kane just missed out in my team. But yeah, had to put him in. He's my 12th man, Williamson. For
nice.
you, Dil?
For me, I have gone with the Anrich Nokia as my 12th man, because just that super fast bowler, who can just come in some short spells there and take a few wickets. Although I must admit, I thought of Kane Williamson as well, because I was like, how can I not put this guy? He's so good, the best player. Like, I'm feeling bad to leave him out also, but like you said, he just misses out because 3, 4, and 5 pick themselves. But yeah, Anrich Nokia has just been brilliant. You saw even in the tour when he came to India there, he bowled really well. And even in the last tour to Australia when he went there, had some brilliant spells there. So Sheldon, you quickly want to read out your team, and I will also read out my team.
Yeah, dude, sounds good. I'll go through it. So I had Usman, Khawaja, and Devon, Conway opening in my team.
Yeah.
I had Babar Azam at 3, Joe Root at 4, Smith at 5, my captain. And then at 6, Ben Stokes. 7, I had Dinesh Chadimal. And then my bowling attack is Shaheen Shah Afridi, Shakib Hassan, James Anderson, Nathan Lyon, and 12th man, Kane Williamson.
12th man is Kane Williamson. I mean, how could you? How could you as a 12th man? Not cool. Not cool. Anyhow, guys, my playing 11 is Usman Khawaja, Kraig Brathwaite, Babar Azam, Joe Root, Steve Smith, Ben Stokes, Sarfaraz Ahmed, Shakib Hassan, Rabada, Nathan Lyon, and Shaheen Shah Afridi, with my 12th man as Anrich Nokia there. So almost we have a lot of similarities there, except for the openers and I think the keeper and one fast bowler, which I think, but not bad. We've got like eight in common there, so that's good. So you can see, guys, why we love Test cricket and why we kind of understand each other a lot. There you have it, guys. That was our playing 11. I mean, it would be interesting to know what you guys think. Your World 11 that can beat India in India. Do leave your comments down there and your team down there in the comment section. We would be really interested to know that. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this. You can follow us on Instagram. The handle's right down there in the description. And yes, don't forget, if you have any ideas for our channel, please leave it down as well in the comment section, and we'll be very happy enough to take them. It's been brilliant bringing this video to you guys. Like I said, we've been planning this for a long time, and yes, super happy that this is finally out. So thank you so much for watching this video. Do stay tuned for more updates. We have a lot more coming up with the IPL around the corner there. Follow us for more, and thank you so much once again.